things. She tucked the flashlight into her day pack before unrolling her mat on a relatively flat stretch of grass. After toeing off her shoes, she settled on the mat in a half-lotus seated position and closed her eyes, adjusting her position until she found her center of gravity. Hands on her thighs, palms up, thumbs and pointer fingers touching, she stilled. Immediately, all kinds of ghostly whispers and pleas intruded, distracting her. Some were unintelligible, ancient languages she didn't recognize. Others came through clear as day with the same old familiar refrain. "Help me! Where am I?" And of course, "I want to go home." She mentally brushed them aside like so many cobwebs in the corner of her mind. "I'm ignoring all of you," she called out, "so you may as well quiet down." Regan narrowed her throat for Ujjayi Pranayama, the breath of victory. The inner sound of her breathing, like ocean waves, helped her focus. Concentrating, she opened her mind to the magic surrounding her. According to everything she'd read, practitioners could use magic to repel unwanted energies. Some were able to mask their presence with a spell. Hiding from dead people and their bereaved families would work. If she couldn't divest herself of her abilities, at least she'd have a shield. Thoughts flitted around for a few minutes, but at least they were hers and no longer ghostly. She simply observed them until her inner self quieted. Reaching for the powerful vibrations, she waited. And waited some more. Regan meditated as hard as she could, inviting the magic in. The minutes ticked by, at least 40 of them, and nothing happened. No flow, not even a trickle or a drip seeped into her. Magic all around, and she couldn't touch it. So, this was not the way magic worked, or she lacked what it took to call that kind of power to her. Disappointed, she heaved a sigh and rose to standing. Despite her failure in this first attempt, she couldn't help but appreciate the glory of the rising sun. She'd greet the day here, so slogging through dewy fields wouldn't have been a total waste of time. Besides, holding on to disappointment wouldn't do her any good. Better to embrace the newly born day with gratitude. Facing the east, she brought her hands together over her heart and began her salutation. With hands folded in prayer, I faced the sun, feeling love and joy in my heart. She moved into the first asana. Flowing into the second pose, she continued her prayer. I reach out and let the sun fill me with warmth. I bow before the sun's radiance and place my face to the ground in humility and respect. By the time Regan had completed 4 sets of the sun salutation, the burning orb had risen in a blaze of orange and pink against an azure background. She switched to Ashtanga Yoga and moved through the more challenging poses. Inhale, move into the posture, exhale, and hold. What is the daft lassie doing then? A very male voice said from behind her. A burst of adrenaline wrecked her meditative state. She drew in a long cleansing breath, letting it out slowly through her nose. He had to be a ghost, because she would have heard a fellow trespasser's approach. Until you interrupted her, the daft lassie was doing Ashtanga Yoga, she said, coming out of her pose. So much for ending her practice with another brief meditated effort to grasp hold of the magic here. So much for shutting out the dead. Since birth, it had been deeply ingrained in her by her family that her gifts were meant to be shared. She'd been born to guide confused spirits to the light, offer the bereaved some closure, and chase away beings who had no business messing with humans. Whether she wanted to or not, interacting with the spirit world was her lot in life. Doing so took a lot out of her and left her empty. It wasn't always the dead who stole her energy. Though their proximity chilled and exhausted her, sometimes it was their needy, grieving relatives who drained her the most. The living didn't always want to let go, and they were persistent with their